In 1987, the murder of Denise Hawkins was a tragedy, but for the Detroit Police Department, it was also a puzzle they couldn't solve. After 2 years of dead ends, the file was stamped with the worst word in law enforcement: closed. For 30 years, a convicted felon sat in a prison cell for a crime he swore he didn't commit. Everyone believed the case was dead. Everyone except one forensic assistant with a microscope and an old shoebox. When they opened that box again, they didn't find a smoking gun. They found something far more terrifying: the truth that the killer had been standing in the police station the entire time. Detroit, Michigan, August 14th, 1987. Denise Hawkins, a 29-year-old nurse returning from a late shift, never made it to her apartment. Her vehicle was found in a church parking lot 6 blocks from home. The driver's side door was wide open. Her keys were on the floorboard. 3 days later, the Detroit River gave up its secret. Denise's body was located near the Belle Isle Bridge. Cause of death? Manual strangulation. But there were no signs of sexual assault. The killer didn't want money. He didn't want her body. He wanted silence. Lead Detective Marcus Webb had a theory. Denise was a witness in a minor embezzlement trial involving a local contractor. But when Webb interviewed the contractor, he had a rock-solid alibi. Desperate for an arrest, police turned to the usual suspects: ex-boyfriends. Enter Ronald Turner, a local drifter with a history of breaking and entering. He lived near the church. He had no alibi. Under 12 hours of interrogation, a tired, scared Ronald Turner signed a confession. The problem? The physical evidence didn't match. Fibers from the scene were wool. Ronald wore cotton. The time of death was 2 a.m. Ronald's roommate swore he was home by 11 p.m. None of it mattered. The prosecution had a confession. Ronald Turner was sentenced to life. For the next 20 years, the case file gathered dust. Ronald Turner became a ghost in the Michigan prison system. Every appeal was denied. The courts ruled the confession was voluntary. Denise's family attended every parole hearing, begging for Turner to stay locked up. They believed justice was served. But in 2007, a young intern at the cold case unit made a mundane decision. She was tasked with digitizing old evidence logs. She pulled the Denise Hawkins box. What she saw made her stop typing. On the original evidence log, item number 14 was listed as scraping, fingernail, left hand. In 1987, the lab had run a basic ABO blood test on this scraping. It came back as type O. Ronald Turner is type A. The lab noted this as inconclusive and buried it. The intern flagged it for retesting. In 2008, with the advent of touch DNA and advanced STR analysis, the sample was re-examined. The result shocked the technician. The DNA under Denise's fingernail did not belong to Ronald Turner. It belonged to a male with a 99.97% probability. But when the profile was run through CODIS, the National DNA Database, it hit on a name that made the cold case unit go silent. The name was Sergeant Marcus Webb, the original lead detective. How does a detective become the suspect? The new task force dug through the archives. They found the original case file notes. In those notes, Detective Webb wrote, "Victim likely new killer. No forced entry into car." But here is the detail the original team ignored. Denise Hawkins was working as a nurse at a clinic owned by Marcus Webb's brother. Denise was preparing to testify that the clinic was committing insurance fraud. She had a meeting scheduled with the district attorney on the morning she disappeared. Marcus Webb didn't just catch the case, he took the case. He volunteered to lead the investigation.
to control the narrative. When Ronald Turner was picked up for loitering, Webb saw his patsy. The confession? New audio analysis in 2009 revealed that Ronald Turner was fed every single detail. The interrogation transcripts show Webb saying, "Tell us where you put the shoes, the Reeboks." Turner had never mentioned shoes. The police had found Reebok prints at the scene. By the time police knocked on Marcus Webb's door in 2010, he had retired to Florida.
He was living in a gated community. He had a garden, and he had a .38 revolver registered in his name, the same caliber of a missing bullet the original team never found. When they arrested him, he said only one thing: that case was closed. You can't close a door that's already locked. The trial of the state versus Marcus Webb lasted only 6 weeks. The defense argued that the DNA under Denise's nails was transfer DNA from a prior case, but the prosecution had a silver bullet. In Webb's Florida garage, hidden behind a tool chest, officers found a pair of Reebok sneakers, size 11. He wore a size 11, but these sneakers had soil on them, soil from the Detroit riverbank, the same soil that was on Denise's dress. The fibers? Wool. Webb's police-issue jacket was 70% wool.
Ronald Turner was exonerated in 2011. He walked out of prison after 24 years, 3 months, and 12 days. He looked at the camera and said, "They didn't free me. Science freed me. But I forgive him. Forgiving him is the only way I don't become him." Marcus Webb was convicted of first-degree murder. He was sentenced to life without parole, the very sentence he handed to an innocent man. In court, Judge Patricia Matthews looked at him and said, "You didn't just betray your badge. You betrayed the truth, and the truth always waits." The case was closed for years until new evidence shocked police. But the haunting question remains: how many other closed cases are hiding a detective's secret? How many Ronald Turners are still sitting in cells because we trusted the man holding the badge instead of the science? Denise Hawkins' family finally got peace, but they also learned a terrible truth. The man tasked with finding their daughter's killer was the last person to see her alive. If you have information about a closed case that needs a second look, contact your local cold case unit. Sometimes justice isn't delayed. It's just waiting for better technology. Thanks for watching. Stay curious and never stop questioning the closed file. Ronald Turner died a free man in 2019. Marcus Webb remains incarcerated.